Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Summer of Chess here in St. Louis. We're all very excited for the St. Louis Rapid and Blitz. It's the second one of its kind, and it should be a spectacular event. It's a third stop on the Grand Chess Tour. We've already had two amazing events in Leuven and in Paris, and so the players have had a chance to rest a little bit, at least most of them, and come to this event prepared and ready to do battle. Well, we certainly have to thank Shannon Bailey, who is the chief curator of the World Chess Hall of Fame, and her incredible staff for hosting this event in this really spectacular place. Thank you very much, Shannon. And we would have no such event, the miracle that is American chess, not only here in St. Louis, but the rippling effect it's had across the world of chess, if it weren't for the largesse, the generosity, and persistent dedication of Rex and Dr. Jeannie Singfield. So thank you very much for your continued support. Thank you. Nothing happens without visionaries, and unfortunately he could not be here today, but one Garry Kasparov should certainly be thanked. He's always been a visionary. We know he has left his imprint on the world of chess forever. So Garry, wherever you are, we hope you're watching. Thank you so much. And there's a team that works for the Grand Chess Tour, along with everyone who are not here, Graham Jorgensen, Mike Khodorkovsky, and also Malcolm Payne. They're on the board, and they should be watching as well. I believe they will be coming at some point soon. We also want to thank the sponsors. The Grand Chess Tour, of course, is a collaboration, and that collaboration involves great cities around the world. First of all, we did have this event in Leuven, and so we'd like to thank Jan Kilevert and Your Next Move for putting on just an amazing event in one of the great locations in the world of chess. It's almost like a castle, and it's a special pleasure for us to enjoy that. So Jan, thank you very much for that. And Gilles Bethauser, please give him a hand. Gilles Bethauser from the French team in Paris with Colliers International, certainly Vivendi, and all the supporters there. That studio, their studio the ceiling is about 5 times the size of this one. Just a spectacular location. Rex, I'm waiting for you to build a studio like that for us. You're going to do it, yeah? Whatever I say, that's good. That's the right answer. That's the right answer. Well, we've had 2 events so far. This is the third, and it's just been amazing. We will get to player introductions momentarily, but first we'll get a few words from the executive director of the St. Louis Chess Club, Tony Rich.
Thank you all very much. Really happy to be here with you today. I always joke around. I'm not sure which is my favorite event. You know, the Rapid and Blitz and the Singfield Cup, the Junior Championships, the U.S. Championship, the U.S. Women's Championship. We really have a unique opportunity here in St. Louis to spotlight chess at all of its levels. But I have to say, I think the Rapid and Blitz is probably one of my favorite events. Not just do we see great luminaries and chess talent like this, but, you know, we're able to really put on a great show. We have great commentators. We have a really wonderful event in store for everybody. Just some logistical things. So everybody knows Alexander Grishuk's flight was a little later than everybody else's, so that's why we only have 9 of the 10 players up here at this point. But yes, he will make it in time for round 1, weather willing. So let's keep our fingers crossed that we see Alex here too. So the reason why we host these events, apart from spotlighting these great chess talents from around the world, is because of the benefits that chess really brings to St. Louis, to kids especially. We run programs in about 100 schools in the St. Louis area, and whenever you're able to see, you know, your idol, these great chess heroes up here in your own hometown and get an autograph, it really is something special. So thank you all for joining us. We're very excited to see you here, and I'm really looking forward to the chess. Thanks.
Thank you, Tony. And we mentioned her before, and she gets a few words once more, and she can have the mic for as long as she wants, because that's the kind of lady she is. Dr. Jeannie Singfield.
Thank you for all coming back, for those of you who are here for the first time. And this is going to be a very exciting event. I had so much fun to have you guys. It feels like you're like my cousins or something, my young cousins are young. So we really appreciate you all coming back. And for those of you who cannot be here, my job is to introduce Rex. Okay, so I've said a few things over the years, so I'm trying to be nice, right? Hello? So anyway, Rex has been playing chess way before that I met him, and he doesn't like to talk about when we played together, since it was not a good experience. So, well, I won one game, come on. So, in other words, and the other thing you got to remember is that I let him play chess because I said to him, how expensive could it be? So anyway, I'd like to introduce you the godfather of American chess, Rex Sinquefield.
Thank you, Jeannie. It's really nice when she's on the spot, because then she has to say something nice about me. It took several hours of preparation, however. So, well, I want to welcome all of you. This is certainly my, and I think all of our, favorite time of the year when the world's best chess players come to the best chess city in the world, St. Louis. And I certainly want to give a big round of applause and welcome our amazing commentary team, Yasser, Maurice, and Jennifer, the best in the world in any sport, period. And then also the tremendous team that does all the production work, Spectrum Studios, Randy Sinquefield, Kite, Tammy, everybody at Silverback, Mosul, Leonard, and all of those, and of course, Joy, first and foremost, and Shannon Bailey, curator of this wonderful institution. Thank you all for everything you do. You make it happen. And to all of the incredible staff of the Chess Club and the World Chess Hall of Fame, you work so well together, and it's just an incredible job day in and day out. All the exhibitions we put on throughout the years, you make all of them come to life, and it's truly amazing. Thank you, all of you, for everything you do in that regard. Now, today is the day, I just learned this recently, today is the day that Missouri was founded as a state in 1821. And having been there at the time, I know I look young for my age. It was a wonderful day. Yesterday, we unveiled a banner on the side of a building at 18th and Olive, about 3 miles straight east of here, and that was the site of the first official World Championship match between Zukertort and Steinitz. The sites of that championship match were New York, St. Louis, and New Orleans. And they left New York with Zukertort very much in the lead. They left St. Louis with Steinitz having completely turned the match around, and he goes on to New Orleans and wins and becomes one of the most impressive world champions ever. So now we, of course, get to celebrate because St. Louis has its own resident world champion contender, Grandmaster Fabiano Caruana. And I'm fairly confident he's going to bring the World Championship back to St. Louis, where it belongs. Now, I have to tell you, quite honestly, when I brought the World Championship here in 1886, what? You got a problem with that? Oh, man. So, anyway, Fabiano, all of us are rooting for you and wishing you the best of luck, and you're becoming a great world champion. Now, it's important that we have our public officials here. Mayor Lyda Cruson could not make it, but the man who runs the entire region, the St. Louis County, much larger than the city, is Steve Stenger. He's the county executive. He's just coming off of a recent election in which he was reelected in a very tight and exciting race, but I think a resounding victory. The people of St. Louis said they love his leadership, and we are very grateful for his presence here today. County Executive Steve Stenger.
Thank you all very much. It's great to be here with you tonight, and it is a pleasure and an honor to speak once again to some of the world's greatest chess players and the world's greatest chess fans. So it's great to be here. And yes, we did just come off of an election. It was not exactly a landslide, but it was a very nice victory. A victory is a victory. But as sure as we're all aware, the St. Louis region is the chess capital of the world, period. And I think it bears repeating in light of the large number of visitors who have attended previous chess tournaments here. It's easy to see how the St. Louis area benefits from its standing as the epicenter of chess. And we heard what Tony said, and he's absolutely correct. And we also have to talk about the economic factor. The St. Louis Chess Club plays host to 10 major tournaments every year. And one event alone, the 2018 U.S. Championships held at the Chess Club in March, generated an estimated $1 million for our local economy, and I think it was even more than that. And then there's also the ripple effect of being a destination for world-class chess. Many of the game's top players now live in the St. Louis region. And since I've been county executive, it seems like that number is growing all the time, which has been about 3.5 years. And this, of course, adds to our reputation of having a skilled, innovative, and intelligent population, which in turn makes the St. Louis region an attractive place for businesses to recruit and hire workers. And again, I appreciate the opportunity to participate in tonight's Rapid and Blitz ceremony, and I extend my special thanks to Rex and Jeannie Sigfield for their sponsorship of this tournament and for all they have done for our hometown. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for that support so much. It's important. I always have to talk about these guys, right? That's my job, is to talk about these guys. And to introduce them, I always want to think of something new to say. What's different? And we recognize that they're great players, but something that Steve said to me really struck me about the greatest players in the world. It's not only that they're the greatest players in the world. I like to contextualize it this time in my introduction. I'm going to start down here with the Grandmaster directly to my right. He is the #3 player in the world in rapid chess. That's why he's here, because he obviously had to have some skills, otherwise he'd get killed. But he's also the greatest player from his country since one Jose Raul Capablanca. Think about that. The great world champion, Capablanca, the 3rd world champion, for him to be the greatest ever in that great chess-loving nation of Cuba. Please give a warm welcome to Grandmaster Lanier Dominguez. To his right, he has won the Singfield Cup. He did that last year, and he's clearly one of the best players in the world. But he also happens to be the greatest player of all time from his country. And he is also a mathematician. He corrected me when I was at a ceremony a couple of days ago and said, I said 136 years ago was when the Steinitz-Zukertort match happened, but it was actually 132. Is that right, Max? It makes him very happy. I think it makes him unhappy that I got the number right. But nevertheless, the greatest player ever in the history of France, Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. This next player, he has extreme competition for the role of greatest player born in his country. Extreme competition. There was one, Garry Kasparov, who was born in his country, but he has followed up, and I think we can safely say he's the 2nd greatest ever born in his nation. He happens to be the #3 player on the planet, coming off a resounding victory in Biel. We look forward to his great form here. Shakhriyar Mamedyarov from Azerbaijan. I'm going to give the next player to his right the honor of going last, and I'm going to go down to the end and start with one player who has put up so many numbers, it's ridiculous. He's won 4 U.S. championships, several events, including just recently winning very nicely in Paris. We'll give you that. He had a great comeback after being down. Phenomenal Blitz player, absolutely fantastic rapid player, and looking to win back in his hometown. He told me today when I interviewed him, he said, I don't like the way it went down the last time I was here. The U.S. Championship didn't go great for him, so look for him to have some revenge on his mind. Please welcome Grandmaster Hikaru Nakamura. Now, in a tradition, a country that has amazing tradition of chess, one wouldn't expect it to be easy to be the #1 player of all time from Russia. So I'm sure he's smiling now thinking, yeah, that's pretty tough. Who are you putting me up against? There's so many names. But he has certainly acquitted himself quite well. So much so, he's won World Rapid. He's won several tournaments, Norway Chess a couple of times. But more recently played against Magnus Carlsen for the World Championship title and gave him all that Magnus could handle, losing only in the tiebreak. So a fabulous player indeed, and we'd like to welcome again from Russia, Sergei Karyakin. And I didn't give the greatest moniker to Hikaru because I think a lot of players recognize the U.S. has a pretty darn good player who would take that argument. Very difficult. And Wesley, I think you're going to have that same struggle as well because there's one guy named Bobby Fischer who we all recognize is going to be pretty tough to surpass. So humbly so, he remains humble and he wouldn't argue for that just yet. But he's on his way. He's already won the Grand Chess Tour and he's the current leader of this year's tour. So please give a big hand to Grandmaster Wesley So. Without question, by far the greatest player this country has ever produced. And he's in line with the greatest in all of chess. He's won 5 world championship titles. Count them 5. That's a lot. If you got it, you got to start using a second hand to talk about anything bigger. He's also won so many tournaments. It's just useless me trying to list them all. He is indeed one of the great legends of the game and continues to show why he is a superstar and someone much beloved. From India, Grandmaster Vishwanathan Anand. This gentleman is certainly one of the gentleman jokers in chess. He makes us all laugh and smile, and he relishes the role, as a matter of fact. You see him smiling now happily, just being described as such. But he's also got great competition in his country, as one Tigran Petrosian was quite strong, and he recognizes as such. Nevertheless, he is one of the greatest players we have in the world today. He's been as high as #2 in the world, and he is last year's winner of this event. So he will be defending his title, looking to have a lot of fun while doing so as well. Please welcome Grandmaster Levon Aronian. And finally, somewhat of a host, I would say, of this event as he returns to St. Louis. He lives all of 2 blocks from here, so it's not far for him to walk to get to work. He has certainly had great success here, winning a U.S. championship. He won the Singfield Cup by a score that will be very difficult to match in the history of time, not just at the Singfield Cup, but any tournament, one of the greatest performances by any player in history. And now he gets a chance to try to make history. That's to follow up one Bobby Fischer to become his nation's next world champion. We're all rooting for you. Welcome, Grandmaster Fabiano Caruana. So I can say, really, without hyperbole, we've got the word greatest tagged on these players for a very good reason. So to have this kind of talent in St. Louis is absolutely phenomenal. We really appreciate having you here. And we'll have a few questions for the players, and we'll also open it up to the audience if you have any questions. I know Mike Klein has his question ready. He always does. We'll start at the end as someone who has seen this chess club almost from the very beginning. The chess club started in 2008. He played his first chess championship, U.S. championship, in 2009. And he's been here ever since. So he's been able to watch the changes in chess here in the United States and its effect around the world. So I'm going to open it up to the veteran of U.S. chess here. Hikaru, tell me, what does it mean for you to see what has happened in the last 10 years here in chess in the United States?
Well, first of all, I think it's great what has happened here. I know when I came here in 2009, the whole landscape was so much different. I think we were looking for someone who could sponsor the U.S. Championship and provide some stability because it had been rotating between various locations. The funding was questionable. And so starting with the U.S. Championship and pretty much consequently every event since, it's just kept getting better and better. There are more events now. There are more talented players who are being produced in the U.S. and who are playing here. Think of Sam Shankland, obviously, who's improved a lot in the last couple of years, but also some of the juniors like Jeffrey Zhang and A. Wonder Liang. It's great to see the talent that's being produced now. And I know when I was growing up, I had to travel a lot to Europe, and just for these kids to have the opportunities to compete here in the U.S. and not have to travel so far away, it's just fantastic. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's really all thanks to Rex and Jeannie. So they've just done a phenomenal job, and something that I think, long after we're all gone, it'll still be in the history books, and we'll all look back and thank them for what they've done.
Well said. Well said. I'm going to jump to this end. Lanier, you've had a chance to watch this from afar and now up close as you've been getting invited to more and more events, right? Deservedly so. Tell us what it was like watching these events happening and now getting this amazing opportunity to play.
Well, it's great, of course, and I'm really happy to be here again and thankful for the opportunity that I've been given to play against the best players in the world. And just to be here in St. Louis is always a pleasure. It's not only I come to play good chess, but also the atmosphere. We see friends, chess fans, the commentary great, and it's just a very nice experience always to be here.
Thank you. Sergey, we know you have you live in a place that has an amazing tradition for chess. Russia, you were born in the Ukraine. The history speaks for itself. Can you put a context to that and compare it to what's happening here in St. Louis?
Yes, of course. Of course, we have a very big traditions in Russia and also in Ukraine. But it's very nice to see that here you're getting stronger and stronger, and yes, and I think that USA team is a clear favorite, honestly speaking, in chess team competitions, or at least one of the biggest favorites, and it will be very interesting to play in the next tournament, and I'm very happy to be back in St. Louis for the second time. Yeah.
Thank you. Maxime. You've played here many times. You haven't won a Rapid and Blitz event yet, though. I want to throw that at you.
I didn't.
So I'm just throwing that because we have such a good time together.
We do.
All right, you're one of the leading candidates to qualify for London. What's it going to take for you to do it, and to give us your thoughts as well on these kind of prestigious events?
Well, I mean, first of all, it's obviously a pleasure to be here and to play the Grand Chess Tour, but especially here, I mean, yeah, it's my 5th time already, and I enjoy it just like the first. Obviously, I really need to be top of my game because, I mean, the guys ahead of me already have a good margin, and the one guy looming down on me is quite close. So I really need to up my game and to be ready for the challenge.
By the way, we want to extend our congratulations to France, World Cup winners. Please, everybody, give them a hand. Allez les Bleus.
Yes.
Wesley, you have won the Grand Chess Tour before, and you're now in first place. That usually means that people are chasing you. What are your thoughts now in your position in the event and also being back here in St. Louis?
Yeah, I'm very pleased to be back in St. Louis, also to be leading a Grandchester. But I would like to point out, we're not halfway there yet, because the Singfield Cup obviously counts for more points than the Rapid and Blitz tournaments. So yeah, because of the name, right?
Everybody's always correcting my math. What's up?
What? Yeah. You got to listen to the chess players. We're very good at math. But yeah, well, I'm very pleased to be back. Sometimes I do well in St. Louis, sometimes I don't, as you can see in my history. So I'm really looking forward to some great games here, and hopefully everyone will be in great form, and especially me. So thanks.
Great. Thank you for those thoughts. Shakhriyar told me something today that it didn't even occur to me, that this is his first time here. And I thought, what? No, you're kidding, right? I mean, this guy's been one of the best players on the planet for quite some time. He had an opportunity a few years ago, but there was a conflict, and he wasn't able to play. And now he's here, and it seems like it couldn't be a tournament without such a great player. So welcome, first of all, to the event. Tell us your feeling now that you're here. You also mentioned to me in the interview, this is your first time playing in the United States, so it's all new to you. Tell us what that feels like now to finally be in this place.
Yeah, it is the first time really I play in US. It is very strange, but I think it is a big problem because I afraid of flights. It's too long. Yeah, it's a 14-15 hour flight. It is not easy for me. But okay.
The U.S. team didn't make that excuse when we went to your country. Though.
Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. But I like it. Yeah, it's flight. I like it this time, and it was very. It is very good to play. Of course, one of the best tournaments in the world. It's very nice. Very good atmosphere. It is. I see people playing chess and chess club and. Speak about chess. It is very nice. In my country, chess very popular. Yeah, it's fantastic popular than football. Yeah, it is. Everyone speak about chess, but I think it is like my country. I mean, about everyone's love chess, and it is very nice. Best tournaments in the world. It is in. Okay, I mean, I'm very happy to play here, and. I will try improve my chess and improve my English. Yes. Okay, I will try to play and enjoy chess. Thanks.
Thank you so much. We've got a long way to go to make chess as popular as football here. Americans love their football. That is American football. It might rival soccer, though. I'm not sure about that one. But also congratulations on your fantastic result in Beal. It was epic. Vishy, you have seen a lot. Not as much as Rex, but the 1886. We forgive you for that. Right. But tell us about what you've seen here. You've been a welcome guest here in this event, and contextualize this event, being a 5-time world champion and having seen so many fantastic events and well-organized events. Tell us about this event.
Well, it's obviously a great pleasure to be here. I really love coming to St. Louis every time. I think because by now you know everyone quite closely. It's my 5th trip to play here, and I've seen, even in the time that I've been here, that the association between St. Louis and chess has grown. There were a couple of articles I read, and these are not in chess magazines. A couple of articles I read about places to visit. And whenever St. Louis came up, in the list of things to do in St. Louis, visiting the chess club in the Hall of Fame was mentioned, and also eating the Kingside Diner. So I thought, it was really nice to read that and realize the kind of place that chess has come to occupy in St. Louis as well. So, that's entirely due to the fantastic efforts of Jeannie and Rex and everyone here at the club. And I can say that I've never seen a setup like this anywhere else. I really sometimes say that these two streets are just like a center of chess. And so it's a pleasure to be here, and I'll try to do well in the tournament.
Thank you very much for those thoughts. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to go to you next, Lavone. You've been playing in the Singfield Cup since the very beginning. You and Hikaru are the only two players in the entire field, in the entire world, who have played every single event. Your feelings about playing in St. Louis, and your thoughts about everybody thinking of you as sort of the Joker. And you embrace that role, so.
Well, you should also remember that I was at the match of Steinitz against Zugerta. Yes. Yeah, I think when the first time I came here, I was, I was a bit skeptical. I was saying, wish we were playing somewhere in a bigger city, New York or Los Angeles. And then I came here and I saw that we're like in the most beautiful part. You just walk around the park, you see the beautiful buildings, an amazing heritage that the city has. And then I started walking around the city and seeing that city has so much to offer. I mean, from historic perspective and also from current, the park is incredible, and yeah, I can say that I always love coming back here, and I have great memories of this place, and so I'm very excited. I'll stay here this time for a long time. In regards to people thinking that I'm the Joker, well, I can only say that it's flattering that people don't say something mean. I mean, which they could. So when they keep it like that, it's nice. So I hope I will be a villain in the tournament. Thank you.
And finally, at least my questions, Fabiano, you have been preparing quite heavily for another event, kind of big event, I would say. But this event comes first. So along with contextualizing what chess in St. Louis has meant in these last 10 years and you being able to come back to your country of your birth and be a part of this miracle and contribute to this miracle, what are your thoughts about playing these two events as you prepare for the greatest journey of your life?
Well, my first time here was in 2014, and I mean that tournament was extremely memorable for me for many reasons, but also because it was my first time seeing the St. Louis Chess Club and seeing how chess has grown in the United States since I was a kid. And since then, it's only grown even more, thanks to the efforts of Jeannie and Rex and everyone at the Chess Club and the Hall of Fame. I mean, chess has reached a stratospheric level. And, I mean, it's been great to watch it close up. And as for the tournaments, I mean, of course, I'm preparing heavily for the match, and that's always in the back of my mind. But right now, I'm mainly focused on doing well in these two events. And my last few events haven't gone really according to plan, so I'm hoping that I'll do better here.
Well, hear. I'm going to open up the floor now to a few questions. I think we have time for just a couple of questions. Mike, I'm just going to give it to you because I know you always have them.
Thank you, Maurice. Mike Klein, chess.com. And actually, I'm going to change my question, picking up on what Fabi said. So question for 8 of the 9 players, if you could answer briefly. But if you could give Fabi advice on how to beat Magnus Carlsen. I haven't done my research. I believe all of you have defeated Magnus at some point, so. I don't think you're going to give him opening advice, a general advice on what you would do to defeat Magnus. Of course, Sergey almost did, so I'm curious. We can go down the line.
All right, Hikaru, I'm going to really keep this brief, very, very brief, just a couple of words.
Just play the best moves like a computer.
Just play like you did in Berlin.
Play like you did in the Sinkfield Cup 2014. Yeah. Just try to win the first 2 games and everything.
Yeah, Sinkfield Cup 14 is a good plan to follow.
I think I'm not a big expert, but anytime I've beaten Magnus, it was because I've had some interesting, original, sharp lines. But that's what they said, how you should play against Fischer, and it didn't quite work for Spassky, so I'm not so sure. I'm sure that Fabiano will find a better way to fit.
Lanier, let's get you.
Yeah, I think just obviously to try to be in top form at that point and just to believe in yourself.
If you play like Sinkfield Cup 14, you can even afford to get a few drinks before the games.
Okay, if you will play like Candace, you will win tournament, yes.
Everybody's looking for past glory. You're going to have to get the pixie dust. Anyone else with any questions? Okay, great. We appreciate that. And we have a special award. I believe we already thanked some of the commentators, but I'll do it again now. First of all, my partners in crime, Jennifer Shahadi, always wonderful, always hosting the show beautifully in top form, and Grandmaster Yasser Sirwan, the golden voice of chess. And we have the English online show, I believe it's Alejandro this time. You speak English, Alejandro? No, he's been doing the Spanish language commentary, and of course his bilingualness is quite strong. So he will pick up very easily, along with also one of our co-commentators who subs when I'm away gallivanting in some strange country. He's always doing such a great job here. So we would like to thank Alejandro and Christian Carilla for what they're going to do. A live show at Kingside Diner, I believe. All right. Give them a hand, please. And we have Russian commentary, and man, the rating level on this one is really high. It's very impressive. First of all, we have Grandmaster Maurice Ashley, who will be giving commentary, along with one player who could actually just like move over here and come right here, Grandmaster Peter Spidler. So please give them a hand for the commentary that we do. And we have a special award. And this one, he's already gotten a lot of accolades this year, but he will get yet another one. And to do the honors, again, my partner in crime, Jennifer Shahad.
Thank you so much, Maurice. Well, this year at U.S. Chess's 3 Spring National Scholastic Championships in Columbus, Ohio, in Atlanta, Georgia, and in Nashville, Tennessee, thousands of young chess players wanted to wish good luck and give some advice to our World Championship challenger, Fabiano Caruana. And Rebecca? This is just a small sample of their work. So these chess players ranged from age 5 to 18, and they signed these good luck cards to Fabiano on his road to London. I'm going to point out a few highlights, a few of my highlights from these. I hope you win so you can be world champ. Make Norway cry. Get a dirty mate. Magnus doesn't know how to play verse, ... Sorry, that kid apparently needed a little more space. And finally, my favorite, especially from the scholastic scene, win, 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 but mostly have fun. And we also have another award for you. This one I think was a pretty easy pick. This year's U.S. Chess Grandmaster of the Year also goes to, of course, our World Championship challenger. Thank you, Fabiano, and of course all of us at US Chess and the St. Louis Chess Campus, and especially all the young people are rooting for you.
Thank you, Jennifer. And now it's time for what all these players are actually waiting for, like who's going to play who. So we're going to get Tony Rich, Executive Director, to call those names out.
Okay, and I'm going to ask our chief arbiter. He's the director of national events for U.S. Chess Federation. He's an international arbiter, handles most of the major events in the United States. Boyd Reed, if he would come join me up here so we can let the players know who they're playing. Okay, so just so everybody's aware, the format for the St. Louis Rapid and Blitz is essentially 2 tournaments in one event. The Rapid portion, the players will play a round robin, which means everyone will face everyone else one time. The Blitz portion is a double round robin. So that means everybody will face each other twice, once with white, once with black. So in order to determine the order that the players will face each other and with which color to begin, we have to draw lots. So we're going to draw 2 sets of numbers. The first number that we'll draw will be from the front boxes here, the larger boxes. Those have beautiful ties in them that were graciously given to us by Margot Petiti, I think is how you say it. I hope I got that right. Beautiful fashion pieces. I think you'll all really enjoy them. And we have corresponding pocket squares to go with them as well. Just inside the box, inside the lid, there's a pairing number, 1 through 10. So we'll begin and ask the players to come up one by one. We'll draw from the larger box for Rapid, and then we'll draw from the smaller box for Blitz. First up, Alex Grishuk now. So Fabiano Caruana, if you would join me first to draw your pairing numbers. Okay, so Fabi's going to pick a box, any box. Not that one. Okay. And Fabi has pairing number 6. In the Blitz portion, Fabiano has drawn pairing number 10. Clapping kills time. Perfect. Next up, also from the United States, Grandmaster Hikaru Nakamura. Hikaru has pairing number 8 in the Rapid portion. That's your nice tie there, too. No, the next one's going to be in one of these boxes. Yeah, that's the one. Number 2. So Hikaru's pairing number 2. Joining us next from Armenia, Grandmaster Levon Aronian. And for the Rapid, Levon has chosen, just inside the box lid here. All right, so Levon has chosen pairing number 10. And for the Blitz portion, pairing number 6. Thank you, Levon. Joining us next from France, Grandmaster Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. And for the Rapid portion, Maxime has drawn pairing number 9. And for Blitz, pairing number 8. Joining us next from Azerbaijan, Grandmaster Shakhriyar Memidarov. For Rapid, Shak has chosen pairing number 7. Oh, hold on, one more. And for Blitz, Shak picks pairing number 7, consistent. Joining us next from Russia, Grandmaster Sergei Karyakin. Number 1 for the Rapid. It's a good number. And number 9, yep. Number 9 for Blitz. Thank you. Joining us next from India, Grandmaster Vishy Anand. And for Rapid, Vichy has chosen pairing number 3. And for Blitz, also number 3. So for our mathematicians, what are the odds that a player chooses 2 from 20 and gets the same number twice? Combinatorics, yeah? Joining us next, Grandmaster Wesley So. For Rapid, Wesley has chosen, inside the lid there, pairing number 4. And for Blitz, pairing number 1. Thank you, Wesley. And last but not least, Grandmaster from Cuba, Lenier Dominguez. Now, a reminder that Alex Grishuk's not here, so he'll end up with what's left. Grandmaster Dominguez chose pairing number 2 for Rapid. And pairing number 5 for Blitz. And then finally, Grandmaster Grishuk will end up with pairing number 5 for Rapid. And pairing number 4 for Blitz. So, for the Rapid portion, our round 1 pairings. Coming right up. Thank you. We have, I'll name the players starting white and then black. Grandmaster Karyakin versus Aronian. Dominguez versus Vashir Lagrave. Anand versus Nakamura. So versus Mamidarov. And Grishuk versus Caruana. This is the part that the players really care about, so I'm sure I'm going to keep this short and sweet and pass it off to Maurice, and we'll wrap things up. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Tony. Well, that's it. We are down to the real meat of everything here. We have the players ready. I'm sure their thoughts are already going quickly. What am I going to play against this guy? How am I going to crush him tomorrow? We'll let them do that, and we're going to close today. Don't forget, tomorrow all the excitement starts. There'll be the live commentary online. You can check out Jen, Yaz, and myself. If you want to come and be here, Kingside Diner, it'll be a ton of fun with Alejandro and Christian. Of course, the Russian language commentary for those who speak that marvelous language. You can get the 2 great grandmasters as well, Mirashenko and Peter's Fiddler. It's going to be a ton of fun. Rapid chess, you know, that's my favorite stuff, Rapid and Blitz. We're going to have a good time. It all starts tomorrow, 1 o'clock Central Time. Of course, we'll be on the air 10 minutes early at 12:50 to bring you all the action. And let the games begin. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful night.